So I have this crazy belief that you were born to create, that creation runs in your DNA. And doTERRA just happens to be the very best playground to create health, to create abundance, and to create true freedom. I was blessed to have a father who was passionate about creation. He loved to create spaces. In fact, he would buy and fix up a home and then get restless after just a year or two in it and have to fix up another house. He loved to create really interesting spaces. I remember a tree house that he built for me that had a zip line from one tree to the other and a pulley with a bucket so we could send stuff up and down to the tree house. He even let us choose our own theme for our bedrooms. So I chose an old Western town for one of my bedrooms. And my dad built the whole facade of old Western buildings. There was a fire pole, and the door to my bedroom was actually a real bank vault door. So I'm super grateful for a dad who showed up that way for me and brought his passion for creating spaces. He was also really good at helping me recognize my talents and my passions. So I started to show some interest in art in junior high. So my parents gladly signed me up for art classes. We created a space in high school for me to start really honing in on my specific passion, which was graphic design. He helped me pick that major in college. He subscribed to all these cool magazines like Graphice and Communication Arts, and I just loved to create visual spaces, right? He shared his passion for creating space, and so I learned how to create space. I started moving into like web design and creating virtual spaces, which I was passionate about. And Natalie and I, in fact, when we were dating, that was one of our favorite dates, was to sit at a computer and create a website together. Is that the geekiest thing you've ever done? So as passionate as my dad was about creating these spaces, he never really figured out how to create a space for him to be with the family more. He always worked for the man. In his mind, that was the safe path. And so I always felt that this kind of hole, this void of my dad always being gone. And we didn't have the time freedom to do a lot of traveling. So that was one thing that while we were in college, some friends of ours introduced us to this idea of residual income and creating a space for your own family to be sovereign, to be your own bank, to be your own creator of your life. They let us play this game called Cash Flow. Have any of you heard of Robert Kiyosaki and his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad? So he created this game, and this was completely mind-blowing to me, that people could actually own their own lives and be the creator of their story and their path to financial freedom. So after college, I went to work for the man. That taught me to. And then Natalie and I had an entrepreneurial spasm, and I started my own design firm. In fact, we started a lot of companies. It's just kind of what we did. But what I realized was I hadn't really built a business. I just created a job for myself. So I was working for clients. I was working from home, which I thought was cool, but I was working like 60 to 80 hours a week. And I was chained to my desk. And so my kids would run, try to sit in my lap and say, "Dad, come play with me." And over and over, I had to say, "Sorry, I don't have time. I need to get my work done." And that was hard. So fast forward a few years, Matt and I hired a life coach, and he helped us develop this idea of creating the life that we want, and creating a life around your dreams and passions. And he also helped me recognize my passion for freedom. That personal freedom is something that I am committed to. So at about this time, Natalie was introduced to these crazy brown bottles by a company, doTERRA, and I was like, yeah, that's cute. You know, Natalie can go do her little expensive hobby, which is what I thought it was turning into. She was giving away samples of deep blue and helichrysum, and I was like, wow, I love your hobbies, but this one is turning out to be a real doozy in terms of cost. And I want to recognize the dear friends who were courageous enough to share doTERRA with us, and that's Jen and Colin Kelly. Do you want to raise your hand, Jen? So we are determined to So as Natalie started playing with these oils, and then she started holding classes, and she started creating, first of all, she created this space for our family to take control of our health. And then she started, as we started living this wellness lifestyle, she couldn't help but share it with others. And in that process, she ended up building this machine, this movement, this revolution of people passionate about health and changing the world. And what that did for our family was it started to create the space for some financial freedom. And after about 10 months, she said, Andy, I want you home with me. I want you working by my side. I want to create with you. I don't want to have parallel lives where you're at your desk for 70 hours a week and I'm with kids and doing my thing. Like, join me. Let's do this together. And I'm so grateful that she created that space for me. So 10 months in, she had built a platinum on her own, and I emailed my design clients and said, it's been a great ride. I actually tried to sell my business, but it turns out it was just a job. Most people don't want to buy a job. So we learned the E-Myth principles the hard way. But I quit and said, I'm going to do this with her. And a lot of my passion was, we had hired this life coach, and I recognized that there was a space in doTERRA for me to be a mentor and to play a meaningful role in people's lives, helping them break through their blocks, help them take down those glass ceilings and barriers that were holding them back. And pretty soon, there started to be this momentum and this, it was literally a snowball that was rolling and picking up speed. And what I loved was it created space for me and my wife to work together, to create together, which is what we were meant to do. We were born to create, and how powerful when we can create with a partner. So since then, we've continued to live this amazing lifestyle of health and passion, and we continue to share, and it continues to build an amazing life. So I love doTERRA, and I'm convinced that it's absolutely the best playground on the planet for creating that health, that abundance, and true freedom.